Hi, I'm Ron Nutter, and welcome to another edition of Tech Bytes with Ron Nutter. In this time, I'm going to show you how to set up Home Assistant to work with your LiFX bulb, and that starts now. Well, I think it's no secret if you've been watching some of my videos what I think of the LiFX bulbs, and they're very straightforward. I've had very good luck with getting them up and running. So that to me makes sense to it to be one of the first bulbs out there that we work with, and it really is pretty straightforward. Now, just to review things, if you're going along with me step and step on the videos, I've got Home Assistant set up. Right now it's set up on a wired connection to the router that is also hosting the access point that everything runs on. I may eventually at some point put it on wireless, but to me it made the most sense just to put it on a direct wired connection into the router, and that way it's one less device I've got to worry about on wireless. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and walk through the setup on getting LiFX up and running.
Okay, now that the HAS.io or Home Assistant's been up and running for a little while, at some point you should start getting a screen like you see right before you where it says New Devices Discovered. Now, that's what it's able to discover on its own. And friendly word of advice, if it's not on, it's not going to be able to discover it. So let's go ahead and click on Check It Out. And you can see it's found Google Cast, Philips Hue. But we're going to start with my favorite little bulb, and that's down here with LiFX. So you can either, if you don't have that message up on the screen, you can click Configurations, Integrations, and that takes you to the same part, because here's what it's discovered. And we will go down here we'll click on LiFX, and yes. Okay, now it's created the config for LiFX, and we'll go over here and see it has the one device that I've got. Now we can go through here and work with the color of it. We can change the brightness, and it even logs what time it's turned on and off. So really, that's as easy as it takes to go with LiFX. Now if we go back to the main overview screen, you'll see that chair or that light bulb as case on there. And again, it's just clicking on and off. This is a web interface, so you can do it from your smartphone as well. So it really can't be any easier than that.
Okay, let's see. There we go. A little bit there, I was hitting the buttons, but I wasn't hitting the right buttons. So really, from an ease of setup standpoint, it's easier to get the LiFX bulb up and running than it was to get, although Home Assistant really was pretty straightforward. If you're not used to burning images onto SD cards, that could have been a little different from what you're used to. Now, as you can see, that's just one bulb. Now, I'm holding up a black and white, a white only bulb here. What you saw was a color bulb. Now, here's the kicker. What I didn't tell you is that LiFX bulb, the color one, is about, 3 years old? That bulb is not even really available anymore. And yet, Home Assistant picked it up right away without a problem. So it's nice to know that going into it, you don't have to have latest and greatest, because let's face it, if you're getting into the Home Assistant area, you may not know how much you may end up spending at this point. But really, it's nice to know that just because it's an older bulb doesn't mean it won't work. Now, kind of want to set the stage for you on where we're heading from here. One of the other things that you're going to hear about with Home Assistant, you'll see something called MQTT. Basically, it's a machine-to-machine type of communication, much like an ATM at your bank or credit union talking back to the mainframe at the bank or credit union. It's that type of correlation. It's a simplistic one, but it's, I think, apt at this point. So where that comes in is it gives kind of a level playing field that there's 3 different things you have to set up, and there's phrasing for all that. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I've reached out to several companies, and one of them, the folks at GarageIt, hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right, have graciously sent me one of their devices. Now, this one fills in the missing blank. This one basically, and we'll go ahead and open it now just to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be working with. You've got this part that's going to go under your garage door opener, and then under here is a reflective patch. So you'll have feedback. Not only will you be able to raise and lower your garage door, and if you've got one of the Security Plus type of garage doors, you'll have to do something a little bit additional, but it's nothing that can't be done. And that way, we're going to go over all the options from Alexa, from Google Assistant, using MQTT. So this way we've got kind of a common framework of everything. So it's going to be very interesting. This is just one of the devices. I've got some other things once Consumer Electronics Show is over with, and that starts up here in just a few days. I'm anticipating having some more devices on the way. So we're really going to start showing kind of the different ins and outs of everything you can do, because Home Assistant, and there's some other platforms out there, but Home Assistant shows a lot of potential for being able to control just about everything. So I think you'll be in for a very interesting journey, because even if you're renting, there's a lot of this that you can put in place. You don't have to own your place. If you travel from time to time, so you're at one place for a while and move on to somewhere else, again, some of this you'll be able to take with you. And for items like the GarageIt, you may find the landlord might be interested in, possibly letting you put that up, and maybe if you offered to leave it behind, but it depends how long you're going to be there. But anyway, that's just one of several things that are coming down the pike. So if you have anything that you would like to see tried with interfacing with Home Assistant, or anything in the smart home arena, please let me know, because I'm always looking for different content idea. I've got quite a few ideas already mapped out, but if it's something that's of interest to even just one of you, I'll be happy to see what I can do, and I'll put that one higher up on the list, because I want this information to be as useful to you as it can be. If you've not seen my videos before, this is volume 1 of the book. The video we're dealing with today is going to be in volume 2. That's probably going to be out, well, later this year. I would think I would hope by June, maybe a little before. It depends on when some of the other devices come in. So this is something that really anybody can do. And the Home Assistant setup was really far easier than I expected. So I've dealt with doing Linux installs, setting up things from command line, and this was I was pleasantly surprised how easy it was to get things up and running. So there's a whole range of different options out there. Like I said, you see the GarageIt. I've got other ones coming. So this is, I think it's going to be interesting. So if you have any ideas, please reach out to me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If this video is useful to you, please click on the thumbs up. If it wasn't, please let me know, because I want this information to be as useful to you as it can be. Anyway, we've gone on long enough. Thank you for watching the video. For those of you who subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. We're approaching, hopefully here within another month, I'll be at 1,000 subscribers, and that's a goal I didn't think would be happening anywhere near soon, and the sky's the limit from there. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you later.